12 play underway in Morgantown, West Virginia. The Houston Cougars win the opening tip in red with white trim. Mountaineers, the home team, in all white. Here's TK pitch to the near side to Kira Merchant. Skip passes turned over. West Virginia in transition. Harrison feeds it to Gia Cook, and she's swatted by Merchant. To the other end go the Cougars.
Great play from Merchant to save what would have been an easy 2 after a turnover. Not the way you want to start the game, but great hustle.
Pitch inside and is fouled by Mimi Wheeler, her first personal. An action-packed first 34 seconds to the Big 12 opener between West Virginia and Houston. Starting 5 for the Cougars: Pitts, Brianna Peguero, Kira Merchant, Jade Jones, and Amira Abdul-Rahim. Pitts misses the first free throw. She'll get another one. Houston and West Virginia, neither of these teams, Meg, really great at the free throw line this season. That's been a pressure point for Coach Kellogg. Cougars 0 for 2 here. They shoot 65% on the season. That's worst in the Big 12. Foul on the entry pass to Carter McCray, part of the starting 5 for WVU, along with Gia Cook, Sydney Shaw, Jordan Harrison, and the aforementioned Wheeler. Jordan Thomas, not in the starting 5 for West Virginia. She's missed the team's last 3 games, but we're told she's healthy and available for this one. Here's Sydney Shaw for WVU, and now Jordan Harrison, the third-year Mountaineer. Wheeler tried to give it to Shaw. Takes it inside the arc. It's back to Harrison. Baseline drive. Touched last by the Cougars. Possession stays with West Virginia. 9 on the shot clock.
And nowhere really for Harrison to go right there. The spacing wasn't great. Wheeler was still kind of right on top of her as she forced her to the baseline.
Interior pass to McCray, and she scores it on the inbound. Bit of a lopsided matchup as we look at some of those statistics, Meg, as the Cougars turn it over for the second time in the first 63 seconds of this one. Houston has really struggled offensively. Not just the worst shooting team percentage-wise in the Big 12, but the team that turns it over the most. And that's bad news against a West Virginia team that has the best turnover margin in the Big 12. So, Meg, speaking of that, what are your keys for the Mountaineers to get win number 1 in league play?
West Virginia needs to come out, move the basketball, have assists, get everybody moving. When they're standing, they are not going to be successful. And energy and effort. This is a tough game before Christmas. It begins conference play. You have to come out, set the tone on your home floor.
Wheeler kicks it out to Gia Cook, and she knocks down a 3. The former Houston Cougar Cook makes it 5-0 early. Mountaineers extend to the press. Meg, what are the keys for Houston?
Well, you got to get to the free throw line and limit turnovers. We saw them get to the free throw line already, but you got to knock those down. You have to be able to convert. When you don't have much offense generated anywhere else, you've got to get those free points, and you got to limit turnovers. This is what West Virginia wants to do. If you're going to give up easy points on one end and allow them to get into press, it's not going to be pretty. That is a terrific strip by Jordan Harrison in transition. Oh, unselfish play, a feed to Cook. She has 5 points. And a quick timeout taken by Houston head coach Matthew Mitchell. It's a 7-0 West Virginia run to begin the game.
Team more focused and more engaged. He said when he was coaching at the mid-major level, this is when he loved to play Power 4 opponents because they're looking forward to going home, not the game. But if we saw anything at shoot-around today, this team is excited.
Absolutely, Angelica. Jordan Harrison with the steal and score off the press. Meg, to that point, we were at shoot-around today. 4 players made half-court shots. Technically, 2 players, 1 coach, and an athletic trainer. So everybody's fired up. And I know that coaches sometimes dread this game before Christmas because sometimes players have plans in place and they're already thinking about their holiday, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's a mental battle to come prepared, but I love that there's a conference play, something meaningful right away. Is the first field goal for Houston from Peguero.
Brianna Peguero makes it 9-2. Mountaineers opened the game on a 9-0 run before that bucket. Here's Gia Cook, the former Cougar. And we've got a whistle away from the ball as the shot clock did not start on that West Virginia possession.
I'm surprised it took that long to notice it.
Meg, as a former player, was this game difficult, even if it was against a big-time opponent?
Yeah, I mean, it just is. It's the mindset. It's that time of year. I mean, granted, I went home a lot because I was, you know, just south
native,
of Pittsburgh.
right?
So, you know, most of the time, players come in with their suitcases. I'm driving them to the airport afterwards. So you had to really tell yourselves, we got 2 hours right now. You have to focus. You got to lock in. You have to be here. It is that this is when you prove, hey, I'm a Power 5 I'm a Power 5 player with that mentality. You have to stay steady, mentally tough. Because certainly you didn't want to come in and drop one right before Christmas, because you knew when you came back from break it was not going to be fun. You knew you had 2 days that were not going to be very much fun.
To fix a timing error.
Referees today, Kevin Pethel, Julie Cromenhook, and Bill Lawrence. It's Kevin Pethel at the mic explaining that we're going to have a stoppage here, an extended stoppage, to determine how much time should be on the shot clock here for this West Virginia possession. Mountaineers 10-2 overall. They went unbeaten at home a year ago. They do have one home loss this season to a really good Villanova team. It's not just the shot clock, but the game clock as a whole had not started since that last Houston possession.
Yeah, I was thinking about 7-8 seconds, maybe just the shot clock, but certainly much longer if you're looking at the game clock. So it was ones I know they wanted back, and then they followed it up at home with Villanova, and that was a loss. That was a tough one. So they're kind of navigating since that Duke win, you know, of what their identity is going to be on the offensive end, and really starting to gain that confidence, I think, defensively, and having this brand new team buy into what Coach Kellogg wants to do defensively. Great back door from Gia Cook.
Terrific connection there, and a feed from Carter McRae as Cook has 7 points against her former team in the opening period. Mountaineers lead at 11-2. They've forced 4 turnovers so far. Merchant with the kick to Kendall Hunter for 3, in and out. That's Hunter's first action since entering the game. Mountaineers quickly the other way. Cook got the membership roll.
That's a tough take. Kendall Hunter decided to go and defend the corner rather than just stay home and defend the easy 2. And Gia Cook recognized that immediately and continued on the left side.
Merchant met at midcourt by Wheeler. Shifts by her, tries to score a mid-range jumper. Mountaineers have it on the rebound.
In this Houston team, they average about 40 rebounds a game, but West Virginia doing a really nice job on the boards here early.
This is Wheeler against Abdul-Rahim inside, off the rim. Scrappy board by McRae. Second chance, no good. Here comes Brianna Peguero to Abdul-Rahim, who traveled for the 5th Houston turnover.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she wanted to take that 3. She thought better, and that's where she got misstep there. You see Hunter go defend that 3. Gia Cook just kind of looks it off as if she was going to make that pass, but recognizes it immediately and finishes there with the left. When Gia Cook decides she's going to the basket, look out. I mean, she's lightning fast.
West Virginia's leader in scoring this season, averaging about 16 points per game. Mountaineers have made 5 of their last 7 attempts on the offensive end. They've really controlled this game here in the early goings. McRae to an open Sydney Shaw, who tries a 3 and hits.
Yeah, that's a beautiful find, because Mimi Wheeler is going to draw attention. When she rolls to the basket, she drew 2 defenders. Kendall Hunter has to come down and help, leaving Sydney Shaw wide open, but great find there from the point guard.
Mountaineers began the game on a 9-0 run. It's 7 unanswered again for the home team here. Mountaineers 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, shooting a whopping 64% in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's not an energy or a focus concern right now for the Mountaineers, that's for sure.
Merchant a touch too strong on the 3. Look out. Will Cook try it all the way here? No, feeds it to Wheeler inside, misses. Second chance is in. 5 scorers for West Virginia, 16-point lead.
I saw what she did there. She just wanted to add a little offensive rebound to the stat sheet and then go finish. I get it.
4 double-doubles last 7 appearances. Maybe you learn a thing or 2 along the way. Another 9-0 run now for West Virginia, leading 18-2. Hunter inside, off the side of the backboard. And a tie-up on the baseline. The arrow favors West Virginia. Really, everything favoring West Virginia here in the first quarter of the first Big 12 conference game of the season.
Yeah, and West Virginia really just making Houston work for any kind of look that they can get. You know, that's a tough short corner opportunity there. They're shooting threes. This is not a three-point shooting Houston team, so West Virginia just really dictating just about every facet of this game.
Again, it's a lopsided matchup, statistically speaking. This is the team in Houston that turns it over more per game than any other team in the Big 12. Meanwhile, West Virginia once again leads the Big 12 conference in steals per game and turnovers forced. 12 steals per game, 24 turnovers forced per contest for Coach Kellogg and company. Under 4 to go, Harrison triggers baseline near side. Shaw hit a three a few moments ago. She's in a bit of trouble with 5 on the shot clock. Harrison might have to do this herself. Rebound, Houston. Kendall Hunter's been a real spark off the bench for Houston this season, averaging a tick below 10 points per game. Here's Amira Abdul-Rahim with a ball fake. And a give to Peguero. Long three is good. Brianna Peguero has 5 points, all of them for the Cougars.
And West Virginia's mixed up their defenses a couple of possessions. They came out in that 2-3. Now you go man-to-man, and Peguero, why not take it, honestly? 18-5, 16-2, you got to take any open look you have. Whether it's a make or miss, it's better than a turnover. At least give yourself an opportunity.
Offensive foul committed by Wheeler.
And we talked about Pitts in the open. Those are the things that she does for this team. Coach Mitchell says she just does the valuable things. Right there, taking a charge, putting herself on the line, defending a much bigger, stronger Mimi Wheeler. And you see that little nudge with the shoulder there. And I don't think she was flopping there. I think she took every bit of that shoulder.
So Wheeler now has 2 fouls. She goes to the bench. And so does Gia Cook, who leads WVU in scoring, replaced by Sydney Woodley and Riley McAlesky. Under 3 to go in the first quarter. Another Houston turnover. That's number 6 in the first quarter. Harrison back to Shaw, who got the run started. Missed it off the glass. Shaw tried to save it. Houston ball. And here comes Jordan Thomas into the game for West Virginia, replacing Carter McRae.
Yeah, and I love the jump stop from Sydney Shaw, but it was just defended really well by Merchant. Jordan Harrison doing a really nice job of making that extra dish. They wanted a 5-second call there. Coach Kellogg not happy with that one, but Jordan Harrison just doing a really nice job of making that extra pass out in transition. Terrific
defensive player Harrison is, and of course that's been the theme for West Virginia over the last 2 years. Put a couple of players on the all Big 12 defensive team last year in J.J. Quinterly and Kaya Watson. 7th Houston turnover, this time a travel by Amani Bartlett in the key.
And that's West Virginia's defense right there. They want to make you feel uncomfortable. You never really feel comfortable with the basketball. That's why you've seen some of these travels. They're taking shots they don't normally take. The spacing on the passing isn't good, and that's just West Virginia dictating that defensively.
McAlesky lost it. Great defending by Jay Jones, the freshman. Can she convert? Yes. Jay Jones, the native of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, with her first bucket.
Really nice take there. The steal, great finish. Love the little mid jumper. Coach Mitchell says she just flies around the floor, and for a freshman to come in and get a lot of these minutes, I mean, this is a man, he's 3-time SEC Coach of the Year. He's going to turn this program around, there's no doubt.
Inside to Jordan Thomas, the 6'3" sophomore, back in the lineup for West Virginia after missing 3 games.
And I think it's big that Jordan Thomas is getting in this game. You know, you want to get her a few minutes. You certainly didn't want to send her home for Christmas. That's going on then, what, 2-3 weeks of not having any game action. And then you come back into conference play. That's very difficult to kind of come back in and get your wind. As you see the freshman, Jones, finishing right over Riley McAlesky inside.
Mountaineers forcing another turnover inside to Thomas, and she's fouled by Merchant.
And that's a tough defensive play. You can kind of see Merchant. She came over to help on that backside. They're going to look to front and double anytime a post player from West Virginia gets the ball in the basket. But I really, really love West Virginia's post. Their footwork is tremendous. Jordan Thomas is a freshman. She always had tremendous footwork, but now she's starting to finish around the basket. Wheeler, McRae, I think all of their footwork in and around the basket is absolutely tremendous. That's a they're so efficient around the basket.
Meg, how has the dynamic of West Virginia's offense changed with more post options?
Yeah, I think, you know, last year Jordan Thomas as a freshman was really the main true post. You had Kyle Watson, who was more of a 4 or a 3 swing player. So to have the ability to have 2 true big men or big women posts in the game at a time, I mean, that changes the entire look. And if you're a guard, you got to love it.
Another turnover in the backcourt forced by West Virginia's pressure. This time it's Sydney Woodley who goes to the free throw line. Brianna Piguero picked up her first personal, so it's Woodley to the foul line, second-year Mountaineer. First one is good. This has been a real pressure point for Coach Kellogg and his staff. Free throw shooting. West Virginia shoots a ton of free throws, makes a ton of free throws, but does not make them at a high percentage. Right now, 2 for 4 in the game. Mountaineers shooting a tick below 70% from the line as a team this season.
Yeah, that's something that I'm sure is a point of contention for Coach Kellogg. They've got to clean that up for conference play because it's going to get more physical. You're going to get to the line an awful lot, and if you can't convert those points in tight conference games, it's going to be trouble.
Jones with a hard take to the bucket and scores again. She really does fly around, Meg.
Gotta love the fearlessness from the 5'10" freshman. I mean, why? And this is a free game right now. Why not? Do it. Try something. Like I said, I'd rather have a shot attempt than a turnover each possession.
Shaw for 3, off the mark this time. Rebound, Thomas, basket and the foul.
You could tell Jordan Thomas just relieved, excited, and happy to be out there. Great offensive rebound. Again, the footwork, the efficiency around the basket off of Shaw's miss here. Comes back down, squares her shoulders, goes right up, draws the foul, and loves it.
That's the first foul on Jade Jones, and it sends Thomas, who has 5 points, back to the free throw line for 1. Off the mark, and a lane violation on Houston, so Thomas will go again.
Now this is the one you can't miss. That was your freebie. Now you got to refocus and knock this one down.
So Thomas will take it again. 6'3" sophomore from Carrollton, Texas, and she made it. 2 for 3 from the line, 6 points for her. Jordan Harrison to the bench for West Virginia. Cook, the team's leading scorer, back into the game. 9 points today, 16 averaging for the season. 40 seconds left, Mountaineers by 16. Inside Piguero, and she's fouled. Cougars have come alive here offensively in the final few minutes of this quarter, Meg. They've made each of their last 3 field goal attempts before that attempt from Piguero, but she'll go to the free throw line here.
Yeah, nice play from Piguero. It was kind of slowly but surely. She had Woodley on her hip and on that side, and if no one steps in front of you, there's no reason to slow down and not get to the basket, and it works out. Piguero gets to the free throw line.
Yeah, Piguero really does it all for this Houston team. She leads the squad in assists and steals, also averaging just shy of 9 points per game this season. She's been really solid here in the first quarter. The real bright spot for the Cougars, 7 of the team's 11 points to cut West Virginia's lead back to 14. About a 4-second differential between game and shot clock as the opening period winds down. Cook to Makaleski, to Sydney Woodley. Corner now to Logan Johnson, who recently checked in. Woodley has it again, 4 to shoot. Cook all the way to the cup. Second chance, Johnson scores it.
Logan Johnson.
Terrific first half for West Virginia in the first Big 12 conference game of the season. Mountaineers leading 27-11.
Nick, Gia Cook described herself as all gas, no brakes. She said, I'm going up strong, and my mentality is, even if you try to stop me, I'll take that contact. Coach Kellogg says that's an accurate representation of her. She is relentless, and she is not scared of anything. He said she brought the spark they needed and that scoring without J.J. Quinterly. And like Meg just alluded to, she's trying to work on that three-ball game.
Thanks, Angelica. Speaking of threes, Kira Merchant, the junior from Houston, Texas, opens the quarter with a three of her own. 27-14 Mountaineers. We heard from Coach Kellogg at the beginning of the game, Meg, that he wanted WVU to turn defense into offense. 9 turnovers forced, 12 points off those turnovers in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job, and efficiency is kind of the key word here. They have 5 offensive rebounds, 10 second chance points. You're completely dominating that regard. But Houston doing a really nice job. West Virginia is giving up that three-point line. You got to start knocking some of those down.
Jordan Thomas just picked up her second personal. That's 2 Mountaineers with 2 fouls. Kira Wheeler is the other. And that will prompt a change here for West Virginia as Thomas goes to the bench, replaced by Celia Riviere, the senior from France. TK Pitts at the foul line for the Cougars. She's coming off her first career double-double. Makes the first, that's her first point of the game. Senior transfer from SMU. Key player in Houston's come-from-behind win over Montana Tuesday. 4 points unanswered for Houston to begin this second quarter. It's a 12-point West Virginia lead. And Sydney Woodley's just turned it over right in front of Houston's bench. Cougars ball.
You see a little defensive adjustment there from Coach Mitchell, looking just to get that length, that size to disrupt West Virginia's point guard, whether it's Sydney Woodley, Harrison. You got to do something, be a little chaotic, make them uncomfortable with the basketball, and start getting a couple of turnovers your own.
TK Pitts is going to go back to the free throw line, fouled by Sydney Woodley. First personal on Woodley. So you mentioned, Meg, some recognition here from Coach Matthew Mitchell. Again, a veteran coach. It's his first year with Houston, but he's a 3-time SEC Coach of the Year at Kentucky, where he spent 13 seasons with the Wildcats. Also previously the head coach at Morehead State, and early in his career was an assistant under legendary Tennessee Volunteers coach Pat Summitt.
I mean, that's so impressive, such a great resume and what he's done. But I mean, can you imagine being a grad assistant and just being a sponge, learning around Coach Summitt? That's just, I mean, that's something that you can't buy that.
A real college basketball legend for sure. Mountaineers still up by double digits, looking for their first bucket of the quarter. And of course, it's Gia Cook who finds her way inside and will go to the free throw line.
And I love that Angelica said, Gia, all gas, no break. I'll take the contact. That was it right there. All gas, get to the basket, take the contact.
First personal by Joran Ross for Houston, who's seeing her first minutes of the game here. Cook's first trip to the foul line, shooting a tick below 77% for the season. Got the first one. She's in double figures again. 12 straight games in double figures for Cook. Only game she hasn't scored in double digits for West Virginia was the season opener. And it's not even halftime. 13-point lead for WVU. Cougars doing a better job of breaking the press, Meg.
Yeah, finding that just a little sweet spot there in the middle. You get past that front line. They're going to call the dogs off, and then you got to be aggressive, take care of the basketball in that half court. I think that's where the struggle has been.
Well, that one results in a tie-up after another strip by Jordan Harrison. Mountaineers have the possession arrow, so they have the ball. 10 turnovers now for the Cougars. Mountaineers have cooled off a fair bit here in this second quarter, still looking for their first made field goal of the period. Kira Wheeler back into the game, traveled. Mountaineers have now committed 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and that's a tough place for Wheeler to catch the basketball. Kind of out there in no man's land. You're not near the block, you're not necessarily on the wing, your back is to the basket. The defense is there, you don't know what's behind you. not really surprised there that there was a mix-up.
Piguero just lost her footing there, and Wheeler did too. Sorry, Cook did too, but she's fouled. And that's why. Foul in the backcourt committed by Amira Abdul-Rahim. First foul on Abdul-Rahim.
Yeah, and Piguero just loses her footing as I'm not sure if she was trying to go behind her back or not. And I didn't see it right there, but I think it was probably just some incidental, an incidental trip or footwork, feet getting tied up a little bit.
Yeah, Cook forced the turnover there in the press, Meg, and I think from chatting with Coach Kellogg, we heard from Angelica a moment ago about his thoughts on Cook's performance on the offensive end, but they want to see more from her and from Mimi Wheeler on the defensive end. They think that both of those players have more to give, and that's the way that they can really elevate their game in Big 12 play. Another foul committed by Houston, this one by Kayla King, her first.
That was a really smart play by Harrison. She knew that King was just behind her closing in. She kind of just stutters and stops and says, like, yeah, I know you're coming right into my back. Just go ahead and foul me. Smart play, but to your point about the defense, they lost so much with J.J. Quinterly, not just in the offensive end. J.J. was tremendous on-ball defender, getting steals. Kaya Watson, nobody played that back line better. So you really needed to get players that are going to buy in to a defensive system that was used to forcing turnovers, getting steals the way that team did. So love to see players like Shaw and Cook buying into that.
Well, how about Sydney Shaw with threes in each of the first 2 quarters for WVU? Knew she was a scorer, averaging 13 per game, but she also leads the team and the Big 12 in steals, which is an element to her game that's new as well. Wheeler with the steal on the press. Can't score it on the low block, though.
Yeah, she plays that position where Kaya Watson was, where you're kind of like a linebacker, a safety, kind of just watching and waiting. You have 2 players like Cook and Harrison on ball creating havoc. Those long passes come up and hang in the air. She does a great job of just finding them and getting steals.
Cook, all gas, no brakes, but didn't get the make.
That was it right there again.
Harrison, great ball fake. Open look at a 3. Too strong. Shaw almost there for the weak side rebound. Houston has it. Here's Kira Merchant for the Cougars to TK Pitts. Mountaineers doubling up Houston in the Big 12 opener. Pitts misses strong.
Yeah, it's tough offensively for Houston right now. A lot of their offense is just trying to go one-on-one, trying to get an open shot, trying to create something. And if you're not shooting the ball very well, and they haven't all season, those one-on-one shots become awfully difficult to make.
Wheeler misses again from in close. She's had the hot hand recently for West Virginia, but it's just 1 for 5 today. And a travel by Ross underneath. We're up to 13 turnovers committed by the Cougars. They average about 20 turnovers per game. Wheeler will take a seat. So for West Virginia, it's Carter McRae, Jordan Harrison, Sydney Shaw, Gia Cook, and Cece Riviere on the floor.
And Carter McRae is one of those players that, when Jordan Thomas was out the last few games, she's gotten a ton more minutes, and I think she has completely played her way into more minutes as conference play opens today, but throughout the rest of conference play when they get back from break. She's been extremely effective when she's been in.
Mountaineers were red hot in the first quarter, just 1 for 7 from the field in the second, as Amira Abdul-Rahim gets on the score sheet for Houston.
Yeah, and that's a tough play. You get beat on one line, you go reach for a steal, don't get it. Then Cece Riviere, you never help up, but she kind of felt in the need to, and the pass gets behind you.
Here's Sydney Shaw, the second-year Mountaineer. Baseline drive and a kick. Quick passing to Harrison, in and out. Pitts with the dribble drive. She's fouled and will go to the line. Sydney Shaw's first personal.
I think Pitts is doing a really nice job of just saying, I got nothing to lose. I'm taking it to the basket. I'm making an attempt to get in there. She's done a nice job of drawing fouls. Got to knock down some free throws. I think that's a really huge thing, especially when you're struggling to get points. Get to the free throw line, but they're free. You got to convert these. Have to.
Short on the first is Pitts. Cougars below 50% from the line in the game. And while it's true, Meg, that Pitts has done a great job of getting to the basket, she's also one of the worst free throw shooters on this Houston team.
Yeah.
50% for the season, now just 3 for 8 today. Houston now extending some pressure. Mountaineers get it across midcourt. Carter McRae is wide open down low, but a good work by Pitts of getting back.
Yeah, cleaning up some defensive miscues right there. Not sure how Carter McRae became wide open. That's going to be a travel. Little extra hop. Yeah, Carter McRae just does a really nice job there. You can see Coach Mitchell, he wanted a trap there on the sideline, and you can see both players there, Hunter, and I think it was, I don't know if it was King. They played in between. You're either going for that trap or you got to get back and defend McRae. You can't play in between right there.
Shaw open again from downtown. 9 points, all from beyond the arc for Sydney Shaw.
Yeah, and Sydney Shaw, she needs to be that consistent. I'm shooting 43% from 3 as they head into conference play. She's just got to be that three-point go-to player.
Cook with another steal, and she's fouled again. West Virginia leading 35-19 over Houston in the Big 12 opener.
That ball, make West Virginia get on their toes a little bit and throw some bad passes that you can come up with. He wants them to go around that ball screen and then go trap, hedge it up top, create pressure, and then rotate on that backside, which we saw that last possession. McRae didn't finish, but she was wide open because there was no rotation defensively.
Mountaineers shot 55% in the first quarter. They're just 2 for 10 in the second. And Sydney Shaw, who's scrapping forward on the far side, is the only player who's made field goals. Harrison inside to Riviere. Back to Harrison, who lets fly. Still loose. Rebound corralled by the Cougars.
And Houston, they're shooting 50% field goal, 50% from 3, 50% from the free throw line as well. But the difference is they're only taking 12 shots to West Virginia's 30. They're just not getting as many opportunities.
Cook got it to go again. 13 points for Gia Cook, 12 or more in each of West Virginia's last 12 games. To your last point, Meg, Cougars have turned it over 14 times, but a shot like that a moment ago from Hunter is about as good as a turnover for West Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. West Virginia is just dictating the pace. They're dictating everything that they're doing offensively, but when you have a look, that one I wasn't crazy about, but you got to look. You got to let it fly. You got to get to the basket. You got to create opportunities. Don't wait for them to fall into your lap.
I think Harrison may have disrupted that shot.
Yeah, I'm thinking because
it
looked a little odd.
On the other end, it's Shaw for West Virginia, back to Riviere. And now Cook, who leads all scorers with 13, trying to feed McRae. Another West Virginia turnover, and we've got a stoppage here for an injured Cougar. It's Kendall Hunter, the redshirt senior from Houston, Texas.
Glad to see her get back up. She's been kind of hit with the injury bug. She's playing there with a dislocated finger. You can see the tape on her hand, but glad to see her up.
A great point, Meg. That they're hoping, the coaching staff is hoping that Hunter, that this Christmas break that's coming up can really help her. We'll take another look at it here. Just some inadvertent contact there with McRae. Meanwhile, West Virginia got a steal on the inbound pass, and Jordan Harrison cashed it in for a layup. 20-point lead for WVU. That's its largest lead of the game.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Offensive foul.
Yeah, that's tough. I know, I guess she's just trying to split the two defenders, but
Offensive foul called on the Cougars, TK Fish.
you got to be much more under control.
17 turnovers now for Houston. Again, the Cougars turn it over about 20 times per game. They may get to that number before halftime at this rate. Meanwhile, West Virginia is on a 7-0 run again, sort of getting a feel for this second quarter after going 2 for 10 to begin the period. Cook inside, swatted by Abdur-Rahim. Possession stays with West Virginia.
Yeah, Abdur-Rahim came out of nowhere, timed that perfectly.
Yeah, she's a player that's fun to watch, Meg. Amir Abdur-Rahim. Great defending there on the low block. Mountaineers keep possession, though. Great feed from Harrison. McCray couldn't put it in with the reverse layup. Merchant hassled and fouled. They'll tag Gia Cook with her first personal.
That was kind of one of those plays where, as Houston was bringing the ball up the floor, you could kind of predict that a foul was coming. They're getting a little overzealous, a little too handsy, a little too aggressive, wanting that steal, because you kind of think Merchant was maybe not as confident with the ball as you wanted her to be. I kind of saw a foul coming right there, you know, a mile away, basically.
Just over 2 minutes left until halftime. West Virginia enjoying its largest lead of the ball game. Here's Kayla King. Back to Merchant. Hassled by Harrison. Great D again from West Virginia here. King splitting a double to Bartlett from the line. Off mark. Rebound McCray, and a physical board at that with under 2 to go. Harrison inside to McCray. Goes to the right hand and goes to the line.
Yeah, that's tough. And, you know, you have to kind of pick your poison here with West Virginia defensively. Love that Abdur-Rahim off of a screen. She's going to come out, kind of trap, use her length to kind of disrupt passes. But what you're going to do in the backside is have a smaller guard rotating over to try and defend West Virginia's post, and then you end up fouling and getting to the free throw line.
Long from McCray on the first. She'll get another one here. Native of Oberlin, Ohio. Previously played at Wisconsin and North Kentucky. Rebound Harrison for West Virginia. She keeps it after Carter McCray goes 0 for 2. Shaw swishes again from 3.
And that's the story of the game right there. You see jerseys standing. That's one of my pet peeves. When you have position on a rebound, you have to come down with that. Jordan Harrison pretty much fell right into it. No one around her, and then it's a 3-point swing just like that.
10-0 run for West Virginia, and another steal. McCray getting involved again. 1:15 to go until halftime. Mountaineers have forced 18 turnovers in an impressive first half. Harrison barking out orders. Spin move, lost it. Here's Merchant in transition. Tries to go all the way. West Virginia with the board. Final minute of the first half. Cook lost it. Seems like things have gotten a little bit too quick here, Meg.
Yeah, I think both teams are ready for this, for halftime to come. We've kind of gotten derailed a little bit the last 4 or 5 possessions, I think, on both sides.
Sydney Shaw entering the game for WVU. Harrison will get a little bit of an extended rest here before halftime. Cougars have to get it in. 5 count.
5-second violation.
19 turnovers now for Coach Mitchell's squad.
That is 19.
Again, Cougars averaging 19.7 turnovers per game. That's the worst average in the Big 12. Shaw and Cook have combined for 25 of West Virginia's 42 points. They're both still out there for Coach Kellogg's team. Great ball fake from Shaw to Riviere. Wants to get it down low. Tries to score it over Abdur-Rahim, but can't. And McCray got the rebound and then promptly hit the deck and traveled. 8 turnovers for West Virginia. Mountaineers have dominated their most recent opponents, including Texas A&M, but one issue for WVU was turnovers in that game. Forced 24, but turned it over 20 times themselves, did the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those turnovers for West Virginia, it comes when they're not moving without the basketball, when they're not making that extra pass, when they're standing trying to go one-on-one. A lot of turnovers have come exactly from that, and I think Coach Kellogg would say the same.
Effort there on the bottom of your screen a moment ago. Just trying to prevent Mike Montoro from any balls that may leave the court.
You can do it all.
Final 15 seconds of the second quarter. Kayla King gets it to Jay Jones. 3 on the shot clock, puts it up. Merchant with the rebound at the buzzer, scores it. We begin the third quarter, and we're underway with the Cougars in red getting the ball first, trailing WVU by 21. Referees Kevin Pethel, Julie Cromanhook, Bill Lawrence for the Big 12 opener in Morgantown, West Virginia. TK Pitts spinning and putting it up off the glass, rebound West Virginia. Here's Sydney Shaw with it for WVU. Great vision to find Carter McRae underneath.
Great patience. Again, great footwork. You saw 2 Houston players fly by. Great job from Carter McRae to understand where she was under the basket. Another turnover, and that's just
too easy, Meg.
Too
I think
easy.
is what you're looking
Beautiful
for.
shot. Yeah, you can't just throw it right to West Virginia. You could tell there was a little miscue offensively. I think they made eyes, and one player was going left, one was going right.
Sydney Shaw with a dime and a tray to begin this third quarter, as the Mountaineers have now forced 20 turnovers, converting them into 23 points. That's really been where most of the offenses come for WVU. And we've got a great finish there by Abdul Rahim. They'll count the bucket for the grad transfer from Texas A&M.
And that's just great effort from Abdur Rahim. Those are the kind of points you need. You need these garbage buckets. Hang around the rim, good things will happen. You heard Coach Mitchell from Angelica said, you got to match their physicality. You got to match that toughness, and that's exactly what she's come out and done immediately here for Houston.
How about this, Meg? Abdur Rahim misses the free throw. One of 15 kids. Her brother, you may recognize the name, her older brother Sharif played for Cal and was a first-round pick of the Grizzlies back in the 90s. Absolutely a basketball family, and Amira Abdul Rahim is a player that Coach Mitchell really loves to coach. As Shaw scores again for West Virginia, she's quickly emerged as the team's leading scorer in this game with 17 points. Mountaineers get a steal. Here's Gia Cook, the former Cougar, who scores.
That was a pretty pass. The post to the guard, love it.
On the other end, a quick bucket for the Cougars to answer. Jay Jones, the 5'10 freshman, puts it in. 51-25 the score in a fast-paced third quarter. Cook stepped out of bounds. That'll bring us to a stoppage here with 8:09 to go. 9 West Virginia turnovers in the ball game. The Cougars have committed 21 against this high-powered, high-pressure West Virginia defense. And this is what the Mountaineers are going to try to do to teams in the Big 12 all season long. Doesn't matter if it's a December game or a game the first weekend in March. This is how West Virginia plays under Coach Kellogg. Another turnover and an open Mimi Wheeler down low, and she scores. And a timeout taken by Coach Mitchell and the Cougars as West Virginia has a 28-point lead. All in the huddle during that last timeout. West Virginia really strong out of the gate here to begin the third quarter. Meg leading Houston 53-25, going right back to the press again. And it's a foul, this time on Jordan Harrison. Nearly another Houston turnover, first personal on Harrison.
Yeah, it's just so hard to prepare for. You know, West Virginia, they make different adjustments too, whether they're face guarding, whether they're going to have someone on the ball, not on the ball. So their press is really different. So trying to emulate that in practice, there you go. That's exactly what you want to force. Ball pressure to lob passes that can become easy steals for West Virginia. You can't really understand that type of pressure until you're in the game and seeing it. And Houston's really just, you know, kind of falling apart in this second half here against this press.
Man, West Virginia is just zooming around to begin this third quarter. Gia Cook at the free throw line, swishes the first of 2. She averages 16 per game this season. She's up to 16 today against her former team. And it's a 30-point lead for WVU. Both Cook and Shaw have 17 each for West Virginia, which has yet to miss from the field or the line in the third quarter. Almost a 5 count there on the press for West Virginia. How about another steal? Nearly Shaw almost had it after it was poked free by Harrison.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you're not going to be able to do against this pressure is dribble through it. Each time they've tried to dribble through it, it's either been picked or there's been, you know, some sort of turnover. And there you go, as you see another one. They're just not finding the right openings. The angles, the cuts, they're not finding those right openings against this pressure, and it's really hurting them here early in the third.
Mountaineers get it in the front court since the inbound pass was not touched by the Cougars there a moment ago. Harrison with a rare errant pass. Cook couldn't bring it in. And a tie-up. Mountaineers get the ball right back. They have the possession arrow. West Virginia had a just okay second quarter, and that's what Coach Kellogg told us as he headed into the locker room with his team. They've been terrific early here in the third quarter, opening up a 30-point lead in the conference opener. Harrison, baseline drive, reverse layup. How did she score it? Jordan Harrison with the left for 6 points.
That's a beautiful take. Usually she drives that baseline. She's looking to dish to one of the posts. No one comes down and helps, and the point guard decides to take it herself.
Here's Abdul-Rahim, gets it across midcourt, and then gets it to the guard, Kendall Hunter. Finally an opportunity for an offensive set here for the Cougars. They've just been suffocated early in this second half. Kayla King gets it to the left block and leans in and scores.
Basket by King.
It's a nice strong take there from King going against Wheeler. Just using her body, using the glass. Nice finish there from Sydney Shaw.
She's up to 19, is the senior from Miami, Florida for West Virginia. Steal by Wheeler, and she converts it. I mean, it's just too easy.
Yeah, Houston, they're doing a lot of standing behind West Virginia's defense and trying to get the passes through that way. You got to find a way to put an arm on someone, get open, get in front of that defense. They're going to call McCray here.
And McCray doesn't like the call. She got a clean swat. It's going to be, the foul's going to be committed here with the arm underneath. But we got to take another look. West Virginia has just been putting on a clinic on the other end, right, Meg?
Yeah, she pauses, waits. Like, is anyone going to come and help defense right now? No? Okay, I'll reverse it.
The crowd has just seen the replay of the foul. McCray's first personal that sent Peguero to the line. That's hence the reaction there that you just heard a moment ago. Peguero is Houston's leading scorer in the game with 7 points, but she hasn't scored since the first quarter. So cheers, jeers from the crowd. I mean, it looks like McCray got a clean swat there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the explanation was body, because I didn't think there was too much body either, but you can see clear as day. The hand on the basketball was clean. I think it might have been a little bit more of that arm bar and body.
61-28 the score. Mountaineers dominant here in the third quarter. Cross-court pass from Harrison to Shaw. Now here's Gia Cook at the elbow, slicing through defenders. McCray across to Shaw, 5 to shoot. Shaw, mid-range, got the roll. Sydney Shaw, 21 points, now 2 shy of a season high.
Shaw made that happen. That pass could have been intercepted, but she came and met the ball, continued on with her progress, getting that little short jumper there. But if she didn't come back and meet the ball, there's going to be another steal here from Wheeler. She'll take it herself.
And she's missed it for the first time in the quarter, but got a putback. Wheeler has 8 points. West Virginia made each of its first 9 field goals here in the third period before the miss and putback from Wheeler. 65-28 with under 5.5 to go in the third.
And Nick, we've talked about, West Virginia's defense and them buying into this pressure. Good take there from Pitts, and she's going to draw a foul. Basket will count. Yeah, that's a blocking foul. Got a little too much body there, but Wheeler's doing a really nice job in the middle of that pressure. She's gotten a couple of steals there just reading it. Now, granted, Houston's kind of really eyeing up who they're throwing it to, but I think this is really great practice for her, being able to read that pressure and get some steals.
Hits at the line, no good. She has 5 points in the game. West Virginia up 35. Ooh, Cook just took a hand to the face there and was fouled by Pitts. Third foul on Pitts as Cook is still down.
Yeah, and we had a perfect angle to that. Pitts is going for the steal, but gets nothing but Gia Cook's face.
And she'll have to exit the game here.
Oh, and there's blood coming. You can see that on her hand as she was just walking out.
So Sydney Woodley has re-entered the game for West Virginia. Harrison, Wheeler, McCray, Shaw, and Woodley on the floor with just over 5 left in the third. Mountaineers shooting 90% in the third quarter. Foul here by Shun and Umeli. And that'll bring us to a timeout. All West Virginia on the road. Here in Morgantown, West Virginia leads Houston 65-30 in its Big 12 opener. Nick Farrell, Meg Bulger, and Angelica Trinone with you on ESPN+. Double team here by the Cougars. Sydney Shaw lost it and then got it right back. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Check that, shot clock has reset. Shaw thought she had to fire it, and she was fouled in the act of shooting. That was a wacky sequence there. Officiating crew was late to signal for a change in the shot clock.
Yeah, that's kind of been the problem. Houston is looking to trap along that sideline. And if they don't contain that there, the back defense, that help rotation has not been there. And you come over and foul Shaw instead.
She's been so good today, Meg. Absolutely lights out has Sydney Shaw, 8 of 10 from the field. And Jordan Harrison was in the key too fast.
She tried to jump in the air to save maybe a second.
Oh, man. That,
she knew it.
Yeah, Shaw had missed the free throw anyway.
It was a smart play. I saw her jump to, you know, almost kind of save some time, but.
Shun and Umeli, cross-court pass to a teammate. Jones back to Umeli. Oh, a great feed to Abdur-Rahim. This is good passing here from the Cougars to break the press. Abdur-Rahim lets fly from 3. Rebound by Shaw. Mountaineers not just dominating turnover margin, but also dominating on the glass in this game. Shaw can't leave her open. Missed it that time, though.
And Houston's lucky Shaw didn't knock that down. There was a lot of red jerseys, honestly, just standing, staring at the ball. How do you leave Shaw wide open on the three-point line?
Jay Jones working it inside. Back to Umeli, trying to score it down low. Second chance, no good. Rebound, West Virginia. Sydney Shaw traveled. 10 turnovers for West Virginia, but the Cougars have turned it over 26 times in the stat that's defined this contest since the opening. Jones to Abdur-Rahim. Gets it to the elbow with 6 on the shot clock. And Umeli for 3. And a foul on the rebound. It'll be West Virginia ball.
And those are fouls that Coach Mitchell, he's willing to accept those. Abdur-Rahim just trying to make a play, trying to keep plays alive, trying to stay active.
But that's Gia Cook. She was injured a moment ago, but she's back on the bench. Let's see if Angelica Trinone has an update on her status.
Well, Nick, I've been standing over here behind the bench. She just came walking back out. Didn't look like it phased her at all. She is still in the number 3 jersey. For the amount of blood, seemed nothing got on it.
Fortunate for her. Thanks for that update. Angelica Cook took a hand to the face a few moments ago that forced her to the locker room. Uh-oh, Meg. Your favorite number. Mountaineers lead at 67-30.
You know, it was the best cure for that. I brought my daughter to the education day, and it was nothing but 6-7. I never heard it again after that. Great finish.
Wheeler with a terrific finish and the foul. 11 points for Wheeler. West Virginia with another offensive rebound there, by the way. Mountaineers plus 11 on the glass. They also have 11 offensive boards in the game. Wheeler converts it for the three-point play. She's got a dozen, and the Mountaineers lead at 70-30. West Virginia just suffocating Houston here in the third quarter. Outscoring Houston 28-9 in the period. And we've still got 3+ minutes to play.
I mean, and they're going the length of the floor every single time. I mean, you catch it almost next to out of bounds, and then here you go again. Ball pressure leads to a Wheeler steal in that middle area of the floor.
Harrison for three. Long rebound falls to Jones.
And West Virginia, they've just been so efficient offensively that they've been able to set up in that pressure every single time after a made basket. You know, Houston, you got to find a way to get missed shots so you can kind of get out in transition, relax a little bit, and bring the ball up the floor.
Harrison kicks it out to Sydney Woodley. By the way, 4 of the 5 West Virginia players on the court have at least 2 steals. Wheeler has 6. And a timeout taken by West Virginia head coach Mark Kellogg, with his squad leading 70-30 with 2:20.
It's going to be its business time. I mean, that's a very difficult stretch to go to Kansas. Then you're staying out on the road. That wears on you. I mean, that's a very difficult opening sequence of games there for the Mountaineers.
Carter McRae goes 1 for 2 at the free throw line for WVU. Merchant pulls up from the elbow and hits. 7 points for the junior. One of 3 returners on the roster. Nearly an entirely new squad for Coach Mitchell in his first season at the helm. Shaw kicks it to Harrison in the corner with that quick crossover, and she's fouled. Cougars are over the limit, so Harrison will go to the free throw line. That's the 4th personal on TK Pitts.
And that's a difficult matchup for Pitts to have to defend Jordan.
Changes for both teams. Jordan Thomas checks in for WVU. And Brianna Piguero returns to the court for Houston, replacing Pitts. Jordan Harrison is West Virginia's best free throw shooter percentage-wise. She's 5th in the Big 12 this season, 81%. Second one coming from the Stephen F. Austin transfer. Too strong. Sydney Woodley tried to grab the long rebound, but it's out of bounds. Houston ball. Mountaineers have forced 27 Houston turnovers, 18 steals on those 27 turnovers. They got another one here.
And you can see just a total miscue there from King and Piguero. Both flashed to the same side. Spacing was bad, and then, another turnover there for Houston. The inbounding the ball has been a serious struggle for Houston against this West Virginia pressure.
Harrison shifting in and scoring.
And I like those games when Harrison decides to be a tad selfish when she's taking it herself, because you got to make defenses throughout the league defend 5 players on the floor. She can't just be an all-pass point guard.
King from the elbow hits it for Houston. She has 4 points. The other way, it's Harrison, and she's fouled, and that means she'll go to the line with Houston over the limit. That's Piguero's 2nd personal. Another change for WVU. In fact, it looks like a couple of changes. Riley Makaleski, the transfer from Butler, returning to action. So is the junior Logan Johnson, the former Red Raider. Back to the line is the senior from Oklahoma City. She's into double figures now for West Virginia, joining Mimi Wheeler, Gia Cook, and Sydney Shaw, who has a game-high 22. Harrison averages 12 per game. She's got 11 today. 76-34 West Virginia as we approach the final minute of the third. Harrison with active hands again. Possession stays with Houston as West Virginia makes another change. The 11th and final Mountaineer into the game is the freshman Madison Parrish. Kira Merchant for Houston, driving it, and meets contact there from Sydney Woodley. Mountaineers in transition again. Parrish will give it to Woodley. Here's Jordan Thomas. Inside, Thomas is fouled.
It's a great decision away from the basket there from Jordan Thomas. Instead of going over and setting that ball screen, she recognized that Houston's looking to trap out of those screens. She just slips it and gets right to the basket and to the free throw line.
Substitution whistled for here as Amira Abdul-Rahim re-enters for Houston, replacing Jade Jones. Jordan Thomas back for West Virginia after missing 3 straight games. Swishes the first of 2. She has 7 points. Meg, we were discussing earlier, West Virginia has a lot of options in the post, and it really feels like Thomas as a sophomore is going to be huge for this team in Big 12 play.
Yeah, it's good to see her back out there, getting some great minutes, getting moving, because they're gonna have to have her. They're gonna start keying on Wheeler, because she's such a scorer that I think she can be such a dominant one-on-one post. Wheeler at the high post. You have Cece Riviere, Carter McRae's been playing great. So great options, great looks for the Mountaineers in terms of what they can do inside.
Woodley, active hands, look out here. Monty, I had you covered, brother. I had you covered.
You're 2 for 2, Nick.
Statistician Mike Monturo. He's
Mike
not
said
happy.
you're 0 for 2.
Yeah, he's not happy. He's not happy with me right now. 6-second differential between game and shot clock here as the third quarter winds down. Abdul-Rahim from the elbow, in and out. Rebound Thomas with 10 seconds left. Parrish to Johnson to Makaleski at the horn. Yes! What a way to end an impressive third quarter. West Virginia, a starting 5 for the Cougars today. Handful of freshmen have contributed. Jade Jones, Kayla King, they've played significant minutes today. But welcome to the Big 12, right, Meg? I mean, you take on a team like West Virginia that's extremely aggressive. This was a tough matchup for Houston, but going to learn from these types of games throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Mitchell, he's going to look for small wins, small possessions. When did we do things well? What worked? What do we need to work on as they continue on through conference play? But Coach Mitchell, I mean, we talked about him earlier in this game. Riley Makaleski with her second 3. He's gonna right the ship. I mean, this is his first year. He's gonna come in and do some things. There's no doubt. In a couple years, we're gonna look back and say, yeah, look what he's done with the Houston program.
We had a great chat with Coach Mitchell earlier this week. Let's bring Angelica Trinone into the conversation.
Well, Nick, he was telling us that as he works his way through this first season, what he's trying to do is build a culture. And a lot of that comes from teaching and communicating as well. He said it was a blank canvas. He's trying to get his principles in place, build a standard for what the Houston women's basketball basketball is going to be known for. And he said what helps is a couple of his assistants do have some familiarity with some of the players. He thinks that that has really helped them mesh together as they head into their conference play.
Mountaineers leading Houston 86-34, just forced the 30th turnover of the game. And by the way, a great note from our statistician, Mike Montoro, those 39 points in the third quarter, Meg, are a record for West Virginia in a single quarter under Coach Kellogg, most in a single quarter since December of 21, and it comes in a Big 12 game.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, that's just complete and utter dominance to have 39. Now, they certainly shot the ball well, but I thought, again, they were moving the ball. There's more assists. Their defense was absolutely lights out.
You look up and down the stat sheet, West Virginia just dominating. 39 points off turnovers through 3 quarters, 44 points in the paint. It's up to 46 after the Sidney Woodley layup a moment ago. Makaleski has now hit 3 threes in quick succession.
I think everyone's having a little bit of fun now before this Christmas break for them.
89-36 the score. Officials timeout on the floor with 7:49 remaining.
Check back in for the Cougars, TK Pitts.
TK Pitts has re-entered the game and will trigger here for the Cougars. She has 4 fouls. King's pass is tipped by Woodley. Just so aggressive defensively is Sidney Woodley for WVU.
Yeah, you rarely catch Sidney Woodley out of position defensively.
Pretty quality work there from Makaleski. Meg, 9 points in just 8 minutes. That's pretty good.
Talk about efficiency. Yeah, she's just a 30% shooter from 3 at the moment, but she's definitely somebody I could see getting a lot of quality minutes. Come in and earn that by hitting shots. That's what you're going to need, that 3-point boost as conference play continues, and she could definitely be that player.
Blocking foul committed by Logan Johnson. That's her first personal. To that point, Meg, in our conversation with Coach Kellogg this morning during an energetic West Virginia shoot-around, he mentioned that if there are a couple of players that West Virginia really needs to get going as Big 12 play begins, 2 of them are on the floor right now in Makaleski and Johnson, a couple of transfers that they want to try to get more production out of in these key games that are coming up on the schedule.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I think Riley Makaleski, with her size, she's a difficult matchup. She's a taller guard, can hit the 3. I think if she consistently hits that 3, that's going to open up a lot of minutes. And Logan Johnson was a part of that 5 that won at the Greenbrier against Duke. So those were huge quality minutes to play in that type of environment. And she did great that game. So definitely something to keep an eye on for, you know, the minutes that they potentially earn as conference play opens up.
Makaleski was also a key piece of that second half in the win over Duke at the Greenbrier. So was CeCe Riviere, and so were the 2 Sydneys, Woodley and Shaw. The Greenbrier 5, as they're now known. Someday there will be a 30 for 30 from ESPN about that game.
They're probably, I mean, West Virginia might want to pick up on that. I think we could do something.
Merchant hits a 3. She's in double figures, the first Cougar with 10 or more. Meanwhile, for West Virginia, 9 players have scored. Madison Parrish and CeCe Riviere are the only 2 who have not. Makaleski, can she do it again? Oh my goodness. A dozen on 4 threes for the transfer from Butler.
I'm not sure she stopped smiling since she's been in the game. You gotta love someone hitting shots, having fun with it.
Woodley almost with another steal near midcourt. Pitts has the ball, 8 to shoot. Working off the screen, gets it to Abdur-Rahim in the corner. 3 to shoot now for the Cougars. Baseline drive, a kick to Pitts. Woodley was all over it, shot clock violation. That's 31 Houston turnovers.
Yeah, again, under control, great footwork there from Jordan Thomas. I know Riley Makaleski hits the 3, but Jordan Thomas created that beautiful pass, great find opposite, and her teammates love it for Riley.
Riviere back into the game for West Virginia, so the 2 Mountaineers who have yet to score, Parrish and Riviere, both on the floor now. One other stat too, Meg, is just looking at the box score that really jumps out. 7 Mountaineers with a steal in the game. Makaleski might have been blocked. Thomas was there to clean it up, but missed it. Merchant lost it as she attacked the basket.
And that's a way to earn minutes and get seen by your coach. Great transition defense there from Logan Johnson.
Riviere's pass is tipped. Stays with West Virginia with 5:32 remaining.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 26, Red Ross.
Sydney Shaw and Gia Cook really paced the Mountaineers in the first half and into that dominant third quarter. Shaw has not played here in the fourth quarter. As it stands, she's 1 point shy of a career high that she set earlier this season in a big win against Kent State. Inbound pass from Riviere finds Makaleski. Parrish, the true freshman. Almost lost it. 5 to shoot. Finds Riviere. Great drive from her. And great defending underneath by both Abdur-Rahim and Ross for Houston. Ross, mid-range. Rebound, WVU. Mountaineers have 2 players with at least 4 3-pointers. Makaleski is one. Sydney Shaw the other. West Virginia 10 for 19 from 3-point range.
Yeah, that's exactly the way that you wanted to see the Mountaineers shoot, especially your first conference game.
Inside to Riviere, scoring with the left. 10 Mountaineers on the score sheet. Jones working off the screen from Ross. Loose ball after the rebound and a foul committed by West Virginia. It's Parrish with her first personal. 94.
Absolutely, and I think that's the key. In the non-conference, you're still figuring out who you are as a team. You're still figuring out what you can contribute as a player. And great minutes from Makaleski today. We talked about Logan Johnson and what she brought during that Duke game. So, you know, I always think as Madison Parrish is going to get on the stat sheet.
Everybody scored now as Parrish gets the basket and the foul. Oh, no, check
No,
that.
they're going to call it an
offensive foul.
That's tough. Yeah, she has the opening, but perfectly played, I thought, by Houston. Steps in, got there in time. The ref agreed.
Jordan Ross tries to score a teardrop, still loose. It'll be West Virginia ball with 3:33 to play.
And you just, as a player, you need to become consistent at something. So each time Coach Kellogg looks down the bench, and depending on the game situation and what they need for that time, he needs to look at you and know exactly what you bring. It can't be a question mark every single time. So these minutes in non-conference, and then obviously today it's a conference game, but in a game that's gotten out of hand, he still needs to see that consistency so that he knows what you can bring each game.
Riviere inside to Thomas. Kicks it out to Makaleski. Can she find number 5?
I mean, she looked like a kid in a candy store when she turned around, just so happy.
Yeah, she is ballin', Meg. 15 points, all from beyond the arc. Mountaineers with 8 unanswered.
Talk about consistency. She's brought it today.
Steal by Parrish. Great feed to Johnson in stride. Missed the layup.
I'll be a coach real quick. They got to clean up these layups. Seeing the post miss, a couple easy bunnies. I mean, that doesn't going to matter when the game is, you know, a little tighter. You got to clean things up at all times.
Abdur-Rahim scores for her 8th point. Too easy there for Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, and you can see Houston. There's 3 players with their arms up. Total miscommunication. How do you leave the post wide open?
Sorry, Meg. Thomas is the 5th Mountaineer in double figures. Cook, Shaw, Harrison, Makaleski, Wheeler, and Thomas. Check that. It's 6 Mountaineers with 10 or more. Pitts through contact. She'll go to the free throw line, fouled by Thomas. West Virginia 99, Houston 41 with about 2 minutes to go in the game. And this Mountaineer squad is on the precipice of some history here. West Virginia has never hit triple digits in a Big 12 conference game. One more basket puts WVU over the century mark for the first time in a Big 12 conference contest. Pitts makes both. 99-43 the score. Riviere to Parrish, open look at a 3, too strong. Makaleski scrapping for the board. And either a foul or a tie-up. We've got a foul on Abdul-Rahim, her 3rd.
Foul was on the Cougars. Abdul-Rahim. That's her 4th.
West Virginia ball with 1:51 to go. Abdul-Rahim with 4 fouls, by the way. Scrappy board there from Makaleski, fighting through 4, or 2 players, I should say. Parrish for 3, too strong. Pitts to Abdul-Rahim for 3, off the glass and in.
Hey, however you can get it.
She's Houston's leading scorer in the game with 11 points. Houston foul. West Virginia will keep possession here on the far sideline.
Second personal foul. Team foul.
Parrish threw it away. Houston ball. Approaching the final minute of the Big 12 opener. West Virginia 99, Houston 46. Another West Virginia steal, 34 Cougars turnovers. West Virginia ball, last touch by Houston's Pitts. After the holiday break, Mountaineers head to Kansas for a pair of games against the Jayhawks on New Year's Day, and then the Wildcats on the 4th. Houston plays against Iowa State at home on New Year's Eve. Johnson is fouled and will go to the line.
Up to the crowd, these are probably the 2 most important free throws that Logan Johnson will shoot.
The only other time it could be more important is if it was 66 points,
Exactly.
as we heard already today.
Education Day, you should have heard it.
Historic free throw from Logan Johnson. West Virginia with 100 points in a Big 12 conference game for the first time. Make it 101, silky smooth. From the native of Houston, Texas, Logan Johnson. 101-46. Abdul-Rahim meets resistance from Johnson. It's a tie-up. It's West Virginia ball. Mountaineers pulling away after a dominant 3rd quarter in which WVU outscored its opponent 39-13. It's the most points in a quarter under Coach Kellogg, most points in a quarter in 4 years. And now the most points in a Big 12 conference game ever for West Virginia.
And we always, you know, make a big deal about this game just because it is headed into Christmas break. And, you know, we talked to Coach Kellogg. He said there was no problem with that. There was energy, there was focus. Beautiful pass from Cece Riviere.
She's a terrific passer, terrific.
She is very creative when it comes to her passing.
That'll do it. West Virginia with 6 double-digit scorers. An emphatic victory over Houston.